What is good? What is good, family? Men are the pillars of society. Men are the seeds of society. Now, what do I mean by this? Story time, real quick. Back in the day, your boy was what they consider a grower, allegedly. And one of the main things I learned about growing was how to manipulate the growth patterns and the outcome of my female plants. Now, I know a lot of guys don't really are probably not familiar with the subject matter. Some are, but all the plants that grow the fruit are female. And what happens is you're basically manipulating their environment to get them to um, basically bloom at a certain time, the best possible time. So what would happen was, on a certain light cycle, because you're mimicking the environment, you know, and usually you will plant in like the fall and you will reap the fruit in the spring. That goes for most growth cycles, natural growth cycles in the world, right? And well, spring, you can really do it however your natural environment is. You can reap in the fall as well. But for the purpose of what I was doing, I was growing inside. So the lighting cycle would switch up; it'll be different. And when they're growing, it's like 18 hours a day, and when they're ready to bloom, it's like 12 hours a day. So basically, when you had these female plants, you was able to, you know, bend them, mold them, manipulate them. When I say mold, I mean you can kind of when they're young, when they're little plants, um, it's like they're real. It's a lot of they're not as stern. The branches are not as brittle. They're not as hard. They're like real, kind of like clay to a certain degree. You can kind of move the branches the way you want to, and what you would do is you would kind of flatten your branches out so they can receive more light. So you can pretty much manipulate how the plant will grow in order for when you put it into the next cycle, you will get better buds. Hold on now. Just stay with me for a second. I know you like, well, what the hell is this dude talking about? Female plants. Now, with the male plants, you don't need any male plants basically because you were the provider of the energy of the food for the plants. You control the light cycle. And the reason I'm saying all this to break it all down is when the men control the environment that these females come up in, they're able to mold the best possible female woman in order to insert your seed and bear children, children slash buds, okay? You hear what I'm saying here? So I know that it's a lot of hope going on for Black America right now. A lot of hope on both sides. And I don't want to pretty much deter anybody that, their journey is with, the whole African American community thing in America. All I'm saying is this: keep in mind when you don't control the environment, you don't control the resources, which would be water, stuff like that. When you don't control that and you have an outside source, outside from black men, basically, raising these women within the environment that they created, there might not be the best counterpart for you, black man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not getting into the details why. I know it's going to hurt some people's feelings, but we got to talk. This is why I created Blackmen Travels, so I can really talk to the brothers. And right now, you have to understand the circle that we in and why we're in the circle, and also the valuable role that some women play within black society. The reason why there aren't any black Wall Streets any longer. The reason why there will never be any black Wall Streets in America as long as the status quo stays the same. What they do now is they will send in these black politicians. They will rezone. They will do everything in their power to withhold black men from building their own independent communities. All right? In this country. It's just what's set in stone. Do not allow black men to build up these communities. You ever notice that this whole large amount of female mayors now, right? And with these female mayors, you have the worst possible crime rates, the worst murder rates within these inner cities, right? Now, keep in mind, you got some men out there that's just as effeminate and, sour as these women these days. But why, in almost every inner city, you have these women in high positions and the city is just in turmoil? The black communities within these cities are in just turmoil. Why is that? Now, keep in mind that you do have some men out here that will sell you up the river just as fast. But it's easier to manage a female and give her things that's not really concrete. Like, you can kind of say the right thing to them. You can kind of give them little surface solutions like painting Black Lives Matter on the road instead of actually changing policies. Something that will make who feel better emotionally. When men are very logical, when we actually want returns on our investments. All right? Black men just asking for a 500-year return on their investment right now. That's why it was a black man, Bob Johnson, who asked for something substantial, some tangible, 350 grand for African Americans. It was a black man that asked for that. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not shitting on the women. I'm just, because there's a lot of men out here that are just as bad. Billy Porter, all these other guys, you know what I'm saying? Terry Crews saying some old crazy shit right now. But what I'm saying, brothers, is sometimes, not in all cases, but some of us might have to go elsewhere to really control the environment that we breed and raise these women up in. You understand what I'm saying? When you're the resource and you're the provider and you're the protector of your land, of your community, then now you can raise good, virtuous women that you can build families with. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. This is the reason why a lot of times it won't even come to that, of them having to sabotage the black community. The reason why is you cannot build a black Wall Street without the black family. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a large single parent household, if you have a lot of women on social media twerking it up, men don't want to do anything with that. Men just want to dump and pump, as my brother Remil would say, or pump and dump, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you just get it off and then you just move on because there is no value for you to stay. A lot of times we only compatible in the bedroom because they feel like, well, y'all ain't up to the task, so let us take the task. And it always ends up BS, basically. A big nothing burger, as my brother Tariq Nasheed would say. So this channel is all about progression. It's all about solutions. And all I'm telling you is, brothers, exercise your options. Use your passports, because it might be a situation where some of us might have to go somewhere else and establish a colony elsewhere. They did it. Look how well it turned out for them. Sometimes you gotta learn from your enemy. All right? You gotta mimic your enemy's moves in order to progress. Because truly speaking, in my opinion, it's gonna be very difficult to build the Black Wall Streets here. And if they do build the Black Wall Streets here, you better have some serious protection. I'm talking about very serious protection. My brothers, let me just say this before I go in closing. Well, first off, like the video, share the video to your brothers, sub to the channel, and check out the website, blackmentravels.com, on the bottom of the screen. I'm going to put it right there somewhere, blackmentravels.com. We're consistently working on this website to get it better and better, and we're going to install a new community, right? We have a community right now, but my programmer is working on just getting it a little bit better, more up to date, right? And this community of brothers that's going to exchange information and help build with one another, and a sense of communication without any outside manipulating or managing, because you got a lot of trolls on Facebook. You got a lot of people that's posing as women and men to keep this little civil war we got going here. You know what I'm saying? So, in closing, I'm just going to say that I'm not saying it's a wrap in America. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is no matter how you get leverage to come to the table, black man, all right, to have a seat at the table next to the Asian man, the white man, the men, the captains of industry, you have to have the respect of your woman. All right, that's one of the number ones. You got to have the respect of your female. That's number one. Number two, you have to be able to protect your resources. You have to be able to come to the table to say, okay, if a black person gets killed in America, we're going to stop shipping this. We're going to cut you off from this. Now, Africa should be the lead in something like that, but we don't know. Something's not right over there, because the world is living off of Africa's resources, yet unfortunately, Africa don't have their resources fully protected the way they should. Because if they did, you would see something way different. They almost came close, but the powers that be in the Western government stopped that with the Gaddafi regime. So, brothers, we're going to have to explore. We're going to have to open up our minds. It's not all about, the mongering. It's not all about chasing women, okay? I like to partake in a little fuckery myself. I'll be the first to admit that. But we have to start to come together and to pile up information in order to possibly build elsewhere. And it can be anywhere. My thoughts right now would be somewhere in Brazil, somewhere in Southeast Asia, somewhere in the Caribbean. But wherever it is, the main thing is we got to come together and we got to respect each other and we got to love each other. All right? I built this life because I know we have it in us. A lot of brothers don't have faith. A lot of people in general don't have faith in black men to restore, our power, basically. Because we ran this planet. Remember, it's all ours, in my opinion. We're a citizen of the world. We're international black men. You understand? We're international with this thing. You got to move like water sometimes when you're at war. You got to just keep on moving. Then when you get a set location that you can protect at all costs, when they know that, okay, that's a little black North Korea over there, we're not messing with them. They got some really strict rules over there. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to leave them alone. And because we have that going on, we can say, hey, man, leave our African Americans alone. Leave our Caribbean, Africans alone. Leave these people alone. As a matter of fact, get all your media out of it, because the media is really the shaper of women and children, especially when the man is not in the home. So fellas, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, sub to the channel, and also check out the website, blackmentravels.com. Peace.